What's up, everybody? It's Friday night, and it's time for Pop and Politics. We are coming to you late night tonight, Friday night live at 10 p.m. But wanted to get something into you guys tonight before the weekend. I'm KJ, and of course, this is the amazing Shelly E. Again, we are talking about the latest in hot topics, news, and entertainment. Of course, we want to get right into it. So like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're on YouTube and Rumble, and you can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify under the name Pop and Politics. Here on YouTube, your super chats and donations go a long way in helping us produce conservative content. Any amount is Guys, this is not just a podcast. This is a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that value freedom. Stand with us, subscribe so we can amplify this rallying call for freedom. All right, Shelly, let's set it off.
All right, let's go.
All right. And tonight, want to mix things up a little bit. Where's everybody from tonight? If you can shout out in the comments, what state you all are from. I see a couple people that we generally have on here, but shout out your state. And we'll post it here just to see where everybody's in from. Wow, big island in Hawaii. That's so cool.
I saw Wisconsin up there too.
Kentucky. Okay. Our producer's family is from Kentucky.
Yep.
Ohio. Nice. Michigan. Hey, Allie.
Washington State. Wow.
Okay. North Carolina,
Texas, Illinois, Colorado.
All right, Scrabbing Beauty,
New Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah.
Thank you all. Cali, Alaska,
and Maryland. We're in Maryland, of course. So love you all.
Wow,
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. All right, we're gonna get right into it. We want to talk about tonight Obama. So, of course, the Democrats have to, stroll out Obama to drum up the vote. But this time, he is actually scolding. He's scolding and slamming Black men for not standing up and supporting Kamala Harris. Take a look at this. This is clip 1.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all right and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Are you done?
Wow. Shelly, no, that was sad. That was really sad and pathetic. What are your thoughts on what he said?
Translation. Black people, particularly Black men, if you don't vote how we want you to vote, we're going to whip your ass. That's basically what he's saying. I mean, the gall, right? Not only the condescension, but the utter unmitigated gall to tell grown people just because they look like you on your skin color how to vote. I mean, this is just low. It's basically a house nigga doing what house niggas do. They want to rein back in, reel in the freedom seekers. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. And these people are such liars. They're liars. She didn't grow up like most Black Americans. She grew up in Canada. She grew up in Canada from a good majority of her life. She grew up as an Indian American. Okay, she went to an HBCU. Okay, but what are any of these things? How do they relate to the economy? How do they relate to making our country safer? How do they relate for inflationary economy that we have right now? I mean, the list goes. Education. How does any of this relate to us?
It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't. And that's not their point. Their point is, you look like me. We share the same skin color, or maybe some of us grew up in some similar circumstances. Therefore, you do not get to exercise your free thinking, your free thought processing. You don't get to exercise your opinions on who to vote for. When I want your opinion, I will give it to you. And I'm giving you Kamala Harris. That's who you're supposed to vote for. These people think zero of you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it shows because instead of appealing to us from a way where, talking about the issues, they do an emotional appeal. It's an emotional appeal. It's a divisive appeal. It's an appeal on race. It's an appeal on gender. None of these things have anything to do with making America great again. Nothing. I want to acknowledge our super chatter here, guys. Thank you so much, Jerry. Jerry Early with the $5 super chat says, Obama pissed me off when I saw this clip. Good. He pissed us off too. And I pray that he did that. This is not, people are not falling for this rhetoric.
I don't think so. I don't think they are, because I saw some recent articles today that people are starting to push back, Black men in particular, and some commentators are saying that this is backfiring.
I really hope so, because guess what? Because she grew up, so he says, grew up like you Black people did, because she went to an HBCU, because she had to struggle, so he says, like many Black people did. None of that matters when it comes to, is she smart enough to know how to get this economy back on track? Is she smart enough and have the wherewithal to strengthen our border? And if she was, she would have done it 3 years ago.
Right. This is a sign of desperation, because the polls are showing these, I guess, cracks, if you will. They're showing these cracks, particularly with Black men. I think it was 1 in 4 Black men I read earlier. 1 in 4 Black men are saying, no, we are not voting for her. Latinos are saying, some Latinos, some different segments are saying, no, we don't support her, even with the area of immigration or illegal immigration. So this is a desperate ploy, he comes out like he is their father. Look, Obama's gonna be, y'all gonna get your ass beat tonight. Y'all about to get a whooping.
Right. And the crazy thing is, he doesn't even relate to many Black people. They're millionaires. They're multi-millionaires. His kids went to private school. Most of these areas that are Democrat controlled, these kids go to government schools, or what they generally call them public schools. The schools are run down. Many of them are, not educating our children. His kids went to private school. They are not even like many Black people of today, but they to play on the skin color, because they know that unfortunately, many Black people idolize race.
Right. And just a moment on his kids went to private school. Now, yes, we know that most presidents, when they have young children, they're going to go to the private school right there in DC with all the security. But not only did his kids go to private school, when he came into office, Obama, he tried to close down, or he did close down, a school that was being people could choose. And a lot of minority children were doing well in that school, and he closed it down, wanted to close it down because for whatever reason, they don't want, to separate the schools, and it was too much public money going. But your kids can go to private school and be protected, all day, everywhere they go. Get a grip. Yeah.
It's pitiful. I do want to acknowledge our super chatters, guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's see here. Sky Queen says, yes, it's the emotional appeal tactic. Yes, it is, Sky Queen. And we see it, and I'm glad you do too.
Yes.
Who else do we have here? Get right or get left. Christian conservative women are prettier. Argue with your mama. Keep up the great work, ladies. Salute. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Terrence Stansler with the $5 super chat says, a woman who has not had a child and advocates abortions has no duty to protect the unborn. Absolutely, Terrence. And I am right there with you. That was what I was going to say next. Again, this is what they want to do. They want to push this abortion within our community. There's Planned Parenthoods and abortion centers all throughout urban areas. You do not see them in rural areas. You do not see them within many white communities. And so this is what it's a death cult. It's a death culture. It's nothing life-like. It's nothing positive within this Democrat Party. And it shows because they're not leading with their positive things. They're leading with emotionalism.
All they offer is death, destruction. That's it. Stealing, crime, and they couch it in fancy language again. But Obama coming out, when I saw that, I cringed because number one, how I am about free speech. So anybody telling me what to say or think, I had this visceral reaction. Okay. Even if I might agree with them, don't tell me what to say. Okay. I just have a visceral reaction. But when he sat there in wherever they were, and I was upset that not one of them got up and shouted his ass down.
Yeah. Well, he got up there like he was just Mr. Everything, high and mighty. Who are you?
Who are you?
Right. But you know what? I blame our community because we have given this man godlike status within the Black community, and what has he done? I mean, Black people did not thrive under the Obama administration. It was Trump's administration where most Black people thrived. It was under Trump's administration where he actually funded HBCUs and did it without them having to ask, as they had in previous administrations every year. It was Trump's administration that did that. So now here you have Obama, which is what they do. These Democrats, when it comes around election time, they come out like roaches at night when the light comes on, and they come out. They paddle the celebrities. They dance. They try to become like they're your neighbors, and they speak your lingo, and they push all this racism and it says that racial grift and everything. And then once Black people elect them, they go right back to their own stuff.
Right. What's interesting, I don't know if you saw it, Kate, you probably saw it. Tavis Smiley, he had something on Instagram the other day, basically, trying to coerce and talking about why, Black men are basically wrong for not voting for Kamala Harris. And I said, Tavis, I commented something like, Tavis, it's interesting that you were saying this because he criticized Obama and he basically was run out of all polite Black company. Okay. He criticized Obama and the Democrats basically walked up one side of him and down the other. So he talked about how he was basically scolded and kind of just put out of the plantation, so to speak. And now he's doing the same thing because Black men are not rolling over and falling for Kamala Harris. I mean, it's amazing. I think he was so emotionally scarred from that he probably went back to what he knew, slavery, mental slavery.
And it's really sad because you're right. I think a couple months ago, he was again saying that Kamala Harris needed to do more interviews. It's not right that they expect for the Black community to just roll over and vote for her and she not come out and face questions regarding her policies. So for him to come out now and say it, I mean, guys, these people are all it's almost cult-like. It really is. So, they see that it looks like she's not going to have an easy win if she's going to win at all. And so now they snapping that whip, get in line, go along with what we tell you, go along with the talking points. And anyone who doesn't get in line will be demonized. Really. Really. This is what it is. So just that alone, like you mentioned, even if you did, let's say you don't like Trump. Wouldn't you question something wouldn't you question this the way they're pushing this woman on us? Right. She didn't do well in 2016. She didn't even make it to her own state primary. She got out before they had to vote in California because the polls were showing she wasn't going to come close to winning in California. Right. And she got out. Then she shamed her way into becoming vice president by calling Biden racist. And she knew he wasn't. At least she knew the way she was pushing it. She was using it as a ploy to get on the ticket. So again, I mean, and they say her whole career, she's kind of, maneuvered and manipulated her way into power. And here they are again, trying to do it to the American people.
That's it. Yeah, that's what they're doing. And again, I'm still surprised that it's this close. But on the other hand, the Democratic machine they're going to do anything and everything they can. I don't think it should even be this close, but I do think there are cracks starting to come through in the Democratic Party. And this is why they're sending out the Obamas and other people trying to figure out why Black men are not voting for her. This cackling and this, I was born in the middle class family and all of these dreams and aspirations and hopes or whatever. That's not playing. That's not playing with Black men who look in their pockets every day, who look in their communities, who want more money, who want to have their homes, whatever. They don't want government support. They want to be able to support themselves and their families. That's not playing. Trump, like him or love him, hate him or not, whichever one, he does offer a true picture, if you will, of what a real man looks like and acts like. He's not afraid to call a spade a spade. You don't even have to agree with him, okay? Do I agree with everything Trump says? Absolutely not. But he's real. Right. He shows up. This is who I am. This is what I believe. Whether or not you agree with him, he's not afraid to tell you where he stands.
Absolutely. I do want to acknowledge our additional super chatters. Guys, we certainly appreciate you. Shirley Jennings with the $2 super chat.
Hi, Shirley.
Thank you, Shirley. Thanks for watching with us tonight. Terrence Dantzler again with the $5 super chat. He says, I want her to stop hiding this white grandmother. Oh, yeah. Candace Owens bust her wide open on that. Oh, my Lord. Candace was like a dog with a bone. Yeah. She got on that and she's been really exposing her ever since. And this shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't even matter, but it matters because they have made this an issue. They have used and tried to play on race, run on race, the racial grift to make this an issue. And she's not even Black. She's not even Black. This is the thing. It's terrible. It's terrible. But one thing I was going to say is that when we get back to President Obama trying to force Black men to vote for Kamala Harris, one thing that Black men, I believe, are turned off by are these leftist women, these uber radical feminists who hate men. They hate men. I'm not asking you guys. I'm telling you, these women hate men. And it's a sad state of affairs right now because there's a huge divide amongst the sexes, especially within the Black community. We have a rising of these, like I said, radical feminists on the left.
As Rush Limbaugh would call them, feminazis.
Okay, feminazis that, you know, not only do they want to be this independent, it's no more about just equality, you know, if you want to work or whatever, working and things, but they want to eradicate men. You know, they don't want to see men. They don't want to be around men. It's really weird. It's weird.
Look, I've said before, I love Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. And you know, she comes from this whole culture, this whole tribe of Amazonian women, things like that. But even they like men.
Oh, yeah.
Even they love men.
Right. You're right, LJ. We were talking about it a couple of days ago. Sonny, Whoopi, Joy Reid. Exactly. I mean, these people, you can see, you know, from the way they speak of men, especially strong men, men of faith, they have a disgust in their voices that they don't like them.
It's contempt. It's utter contempt. They really think or believe that men are low, that they're unnecessary. They have a contempt for men. They believe that women in their warped thinking, you know, can be whatever it is, all they want, and don't need men at all. They think very low of men. And this is why Obama is coming to talk to those people at that wherever he was. That is an example of that. He thinks nothing of those men, those Black men. He looks down on you. He just wants you to vote for who he wants so that his fundamental transformation plan can continue.
Yeah, exactly. I really hope men are not falling for this, particularly Black men. I hope all men are not falling for this because it's almost like a perversion of everything we hold dear, of masculinity, of free thought, of independent thought. It's a perversion, and things like this they want to get rid of. And it all goes back to one thing: freedom. And we talk about this all the time. We are seeing a systematic chipping away of our freedom. You guys, you know, I know you all are all over the country, but here in Maryland, particularly Baltimore, Maryland, our city council just outlawed the use of gas-powered leaf blowers, right?
Leaf blowers, gas-powered leaf blowers.
Yeah. Of course, it has something to do with some type of environmental agenda or whatever. But again, this is what they do. I mean, this is a little by little, they outlaw and they try to take away anything that allows us some type of freedom. And they have a war against gas right now because
absolutely,
you know, electric can be monitored, electric can be turned off, the grid can be turned off and turned on. It can stop you from going and coming and things like that. It could prohibit you from cooking and things like that. And so we see a war against the use of gas because gas is much more freeing for us.
Exactly.
And
and for Americans, the number one symbol of their freedom that uses gas is their car.
Right.
Get in your car, you can travel the whole country. You know, however old or new your car is, it's a symbol of freedom. Nowhere else in the world do people have that sense of freedom in their cars like Americans do. And anything that symbolizes freedom for Americans, these jokers, these leftists, these progressives are coming after it. They want to tell you what car to drive or you can't drive, your lawnmowers and your leaf blowers, your stoves, your refrigerators, the sizes of your homes. They want to control it all. And if you think we're joking, you can go look it up for yourself.
Yeah. It's the World Economic Forum agenda. We're not making this stuff up. And this is what they try to say, but they are actually putting this stuff in print and letting you know. But unfortunately, most people don't read anymore. I was reading an article the other day talking about the next generation. Most of them they're not reading anymore.
No.
They get to college and they do so little reading now that the professors have given up on trying to push these kids, these young adults, to read even in college, because they don't even want to read anymore. We have literally become slaves. We have become what our great grandparents and great grandparents have had nightmares about.
Exactly.
For, reading, writing, God. We have literally become. We are regressing. We are regressing as a community.
Yeah. Yep. And when we regress, we devolve. I mean, from education to even just basic civilization, basic courtesies. I was in the store today, and I was waiting in line, and another one of the owners or whatever was pushing something out, but I didn't see it. So the lady just tapped me on my shoulder and said, "Ma'am, watch out." And I said, "Oh, thank you." And then she apologized. She said, "I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to do it." I said, "Miss, please." I mean, I said we're more civil than that, right? She said, I said, "You were doing me a courtesy because I didn't see the box coming or whatever." I said, "Are we so sensitive now that somebody just can't say, tap it?" I said, she said, "You know what? That's a good point." So we have lost civilization. We are losing it if it's not already lost. Basic courtesies. You see people in airports literally zapping out. Now the airport is supposed to be a place where stress and trauma, all this foolishness. You can't even go to an airport to go away traveling because people are zapping out, don't know how to act.
Yeah. And it's these people on the coast, like us, the East Coast, the West Coast, the Northern Sea. It's these people that are really zapping out. And so, I know most people like in the Midwest, in the South, they say, "Oh, we don't have those issues here, or not as much as you guys." But it's coming. It's coming if we don't put a stop to this. All of this stuff is coming, and they do it first in the cities. We are the what do you call it? The test case. Exactly.
The lab.
Right. We're the test case. We're the labs. We're sounding an alarm for you all to let you know they're coming. They're coming for you. And we're just trying to stop it. We are really trying to stop it and stand our ground. But these psycho sickos they're coming for you, and they're trying to do the same. They're pushing the pandemic, scamdemic, as we call it, is coming. That was a test. They are coming. They are coming. Let me see here. I want do we have a super chatter?
Yes, we do.
Okay. All right. Collecting Dev with the $5 super chat says, so-called Kamala be so could Kamala, that's a tongue tier. So could Kamala be called out as racial appropriating? She could be called out as a fraud, as a fake, as a phony, and as an appropriator. Yes, she surely could.
It never applies to them when they do it.
Right. 1G with the $5 super chat says, "Great show, ladies. The scales have fallen off our eyes. We can see clearly now. They mad now. Guess who leads the statistics in abortions?"
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I wonder what she is it now, because I know it used to be Black women. I wonder now if it's white women. Okay. TL Gardner with the $5 super chat says, "Man, please, as a Black man, I was insulted by his comments and wish I could have been there to let him know it." Yes. All right, TL. Absolutely.
TL, you want to get your ass beat.
Yeah.
You want to get the belt.
But TL and the other people out here are real men.
Right.
Real men don't sit there and let this Obama try to tell them what to do and how to do it. No.
Exactly.
Yeah. But speaking TL Gardner, what Obama meant to say, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. She's my puppet. Please vote for her. Yes.
Yes.
We know that. You are so right. Because we know that before with Biden, he was the puppet. but he became his strings began to show,
Right.
and that they don't want us to see the strings, so they could no longer continue to hide that he was a puppet.
Yeah.
So now
Right.
who did bring along this
Obama.
next one?
And that's interesting because remember, if you saw Wednesday show, Yana made the statement that Biden is starting to come out now and say things against Kamala Harris. And I've heard a few other commentators mention that I think he's upset. I think that's what Yana said. He was angry that they pushed him out. So now his little passive aggression is starting to come out. He's not really, she doesn't really mention him. Now she'll say that she won't do anything differently, but she doesn't mention him. He's not really on the stage supporting her or coming out for her. He was at the DNC, yes, but a couple of days or within the last week, some of the things he has said really are kind of taking digs at her.
Yeah, and you're right. We talked about this week on our Wednesday night show, I believe, where she was coming out saying that talking about DeSantis in Florida, saying that DeSantis was not returning her calls and not communicating with her during this terrible, disastrous hurricane. And he came out and he put nipped that and said, no, he hasn't had any issues with DeSantis. He's been in contact with him, and everything is going along smoothly. So again, she was lying. And which is sad. It's sad because this type of stuff is sort of stereotypical of women in general. It's almost like she was, playing this catty, gossipy thing. Yeah. When they've had many storms and disasters and things like this over the last several years, and they always come together, at least for this. They put the politics aside and everybody works together to help people in need during these emergency situations.
Exactly.
I want to acknowledge our super chatters tonight.
Hi, thank you.
All right, Teresa with the $10 super chat says, good evening, ladies. Thank you for the insights and the truth.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you. Yes. And Old Skull, yes, with the €2. Thank you, girls. We need you more than ever. We're here, Old Skull. Thank you for watching with us. All right. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, so we're talking about what Obama said to Black men, again, scolding them for not overwhelmingly supporting Kamala Harris. But one group that seems to be also pushing a back against the Democrats are Latinos. Hispanics. So recently, Kamala Harris did a town hall for Univision and spoke to the Hispanic community. And we have a clip here of a panel of Hispanics that were not happy with her. Take a look.
Well, I think the biggest thing here is that she, like every other politician, lies to your face.
Yes.
They lie to us and they tell us that this thing was wrong one time, and they immediately say, I'm actually going to fight for this now. And this is what she's been doing. She even tried to claim that she's going to build a wall now. She's taking away all the policies that Trump fought for in 2016 and wants to make it her own. She, in the last 4 years with Biden, has betrayed the American people. The reason why they bring in all these illegals is because illegals are being used as slave labor. This is my people being used as slave labor.
All right.
From the most poorest nations in the world, because the corporations that fund Harris's campaign want people to have low wages. You're not going to allow Americans who are asking, give us better pay. They're going to ignore you to bring in illegals who are going to be used to lower the wages. I mean, this is the way this nation is becoming. She's a liar. She's a traitor. She hates this nation and wants to just make as much money as possible for herself and her donors. So that's the way I see this entire thing. She's a liar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Muy bueno. Gracias. Gracias.
Yes.
He told the truth. He said they are using his people for slave labor.
Yes. But she's prosecuted the human traffickers and the transnational cartels. This is BS. Notice these people on that panel, and I know we haven't heard from the other two yet, but they're Hispanic or Latino, whatever description you want to use, but they're talking about real issues.
Right.
That's what they're talking about. That affect
They
their
are
lives.
not falling for the lying and the crap.
Right.
They are not falling for it. I want to do we have time for one more part on that clip? And I didn't tell the timestamp here. Let me see here. One moment, please. I want to see if I can get it on my screen. I want to clip. They are upset. This panel was upset. Actually, I want to show you guys what else they said on this panel. I pray to God that more people are like this. And I know we have another super chatter. Can you acknowledge the super chatter, please?
Let's see, we have Radar 634. Thank you, Radar, for your $10 chat. It says bullying, vote shaming, shameful. Obama's statement is worse than what Biden's saying, that you ain't black if you don't vote for him. Great show. Thank you, Radar.
Thank you so much. Yes, I have it here. Take a look at this. I want to show you guys this one part. I hope my connection is good. Let me know if you have an issue. This Latina, she set it off. Blanca Tapuasco.
In the last 36 months, I tutor some immigrants that came here legally, and they tell me that the malísimo, which is the evil that came in with them, they said, we're vulnerable. So if they feel vulnerable, then how should we, Vice President? If she was standing right here, I could let her know that you have not just failed the people that vulnerably came here legally, who wanted to be rescued, but you've actually put people in the claws of a lion and have allowed people to be mutilated. That's what she has allowed to. And now she was a promotion? No thanks.
All right, Mo. This is our sister channel here, guys. Take a look at the All American Talk Show. There's a new channel that we're pushing, and they have some really good content. So if you're looking for more, to dig deeper into different issues, check them out. They are here on a sister channel for Metro Conservative Media, the All American Talk Show. Of course, we're Poppin' Politics. We also have Just the Guys. They are Just the Guys podcast here on YouTube. They provide a male perspective, male point of view. And then I have my channel also, Christian Conservative with KJ, where I come in from a biblical point of view. But you gotta check out the panel discussion with these Hispanic Americans. Right. Yeah. It was fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. She talks about her being this AG for California, and when she talks about prosecuting the human traffickers, illegal immigrants, all of these 8 million plus illegal immigrants that have come across, many of them have brought children that were not theirs, or you don't know who the parents are. These children have been released to these people, not to mention the criminals that are also released into the country. We don't know what they're doing to these children. No. They are selling them. They are literally pimping them out.
Absolutely. I mean, America has become has really pushed human trafficking.
Yes.
This open border has caused us to be part and parcel of human trafficking, of drug dealing, fentanyl coming across our border and killing, what is it, millions now?
Millions. And all for what? All because the Democratic Party wants votes. So they are selling out Americans. They're selling out innocent children, illegal children who literally have no choice in the matter. They're selling them out for their own coffers and for their own votes, for their power. This is the Democratic Party that we have today. This is not the Democratic Party of our ancestors' years or whatever. It's the Democratic Party. It might as well be called the sex trade party, the human trafficking party, the crime party. Hell, for all intents and purposes, the Democratic Party is a cartel.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. God is watching it all. God is watching it all. And as we sit by as a nation and watch this carnage, watch this deviancy, this evil take place, do you think he's going to bless our nation as he's done in the past? No, he will not. This is pure evil. And you hear them pushing on the left systemic racism and all this type of, no, there's no such thing as systemic racism, because we have laws in place that push back against this type of stuff. But when you fail to adhere to the laws and enforce the laws, as this administration has done with our border, and allow them to sex traffic and push drugs across that border, that's systemic human trafficking. That's systemic drug dealing, because they are failing to enforce the laws on the book when she could have done it 3 years ago.
Yeah. That's the cartel.
That's
the cartel that needs to be taken down. And we can do it at the polls in November the 5th, or if you're going to early vote, whatever state you're in. But this is the cartel of today that needs to be brought down.
Absolutely. All right. Want to also acknowledge additional super chatters here. Yes. Great job, ladies, with the $5 super chat swab. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And we have Angela.
Okay.
Oh, Angela says, ask Willie Brown what heels up Harris did.
Oh my gosh. No telling what she did. No telling what she did, and no telling what she's doing. No telling what this woman is doing. We could know, for all we know, she could have been in Diddy's freak offs. Okay? She could have been in Diddy's freak offs.
Touche.
Who knows? So nothing would surprise me. After the stuff they pulled in the pandemic, nothing surprises me. They had us all 6 feet apart. This subjective number, 6 feet. Who pulled that out of thin air? I do not know. And we all were adhering to it. You know,
well, she says she was out here in these streets, so she might have been at Diddy's parties.
I would not be surprised. Zully G,
Zully, thank you.
$20 super chat. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you. We certainly appreciate. Do we have we got to give Zully something.
Oh, the song.
Money. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. All right. So let's see here. All right, guys. Well, this does it for us. We wanted to come on here and just respond. We couldn't let the weekend go without responding to Obama and the nonsense that he tried to spew to Black men. And well shall see.
Thank you.
$2 super chat from California.
Thank you.
They call us mini California here in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, let me see here. All right. I think that's so. Again, I definitely want to thank you all for joining us. Oh, someone says to talk about George Soros. So not sure if you guys saw. They're talking about that recent news article here, actually out of Baltimore, that did a deep dive into George Soros and the funding that he has put out against
this Open Society Foundation or whatever it is. Yes.
Yes. So it was pretty damning. Basically, George Soros has funded a number of organizations, which they're supposed to be grassroots organizations here in Baltimore City, but in reality, they're getting thousands upon thousands, sometimes millions of dollars from George Soros to push pretty much Marxism.
We got to keep talking about this. I mean, we've known that George Soros funds a lot of organizations and sub-organizations, however the tentacles go. But we should talk a little bit more about this, because right here in Baltimore, our mayor, well, his wife, is the director or president of one of these organizations, so that receives money from George Soros.
Oh, I didn't even know. Say it again. Oh, you mean
mayor's wife?
Oh,
the mayor's wife.
Yes. Yes.
So we got to talk more about this. But yeah, George Soros has tentacles across the country, if not the world. His tentacles are run deep, just like the UN and all these other international organizations, where they infiltrate at different levels, and they spread out the money. These people want complete power over our lives.
Yeah, they do. And a lot of these organizations are fronts for Marxism. They really are. Right. And many people in cities across the country, like Baltimore, believe that these organizations are for the people, and really they're just mouthpieces for Marxism, for George Soros to push Marxism, to eventually push globalization across the country. One world order. That's what they are. I was looking for the article. I thought I had it here, but let me see. Yeah. So it's terrible. It's terrible. It's diabolical what's actually, when you really get a deep dive into what exactly is going on, it's a large network of almost like a cabal of people. They're very organized. And they have an agenda. Their agenda is to pervert and corrupt many things here in the United States and honestly in the world.
Yeah.
Honestly in the world.
So we have a few more super chatters here.
Yes. All right. Can you read those?
Yep. Let me see. Whale C. Oh, he said that love you channel from California. Thank you, Whale Shall See. We also have LAPD. Thank you for your $5 chat. He says that was insulting what Obama said. He looked like Grady from Sanford and Son.
Yeah, he's all gray now.
Who is this? CM Gold and Silver. Thank you. Great stream. Thank you for your chat, your $2 chat. Thank you, super chat. And Ronald Lee for your $10. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you, ladies. He says, keep getting the word out. People are finally waking up to the internal destruction of our country. It is funded by big money individuals. Absolutely. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Our local Fox station's reporting says billionaire George Soros has delivered millions of dollars to Baltimore nonprofits and activists via his philanthropic empire and of course, Open Society Foundations. Did you guys know the first Open Society Foundations was actually right here in Baltimore? It was the first one. It actually was here and it closed after 25 years of operation. But this, he's still out here putting money behind many of these Marxist they call themselves grassroots organizations. Several here in Baltimore City. One is actually, like you mentioned, Shelley, run by our mayor's wife. So again, they're all kind of like cultish, everybody's connected with this. But another organization that's really popular, and again, they generally peddle this whole race idolatry. That's like the number one thing. They prey on Black people and push and emotionalize the idea that Black people are oppressed. It's the white man who's at fault for everything. It is the reason and behind all the ills of the Black community. This is what they push. So anytime you see them, going down that road, it's connected to George Soros and Marxism.
Right. And what was the organization here they mentioned in that article? I can't think of the organization because we actually had we actually had him on the show. You all have to go back to some of our old shows because we had that one of the I don't know what you call them, directors, I guess. Davon Love, I think his name is.
Yes.
We actually interviewed him a few years ago, I think it's been now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So their organization is one that was granted $150,000 in 2022. They had to do some digging to find out that because they did not disclose it on their website as where they got this money. So I mean, and guess what, guys? These organizations are in every city of this country, really. And they all push the same thing, this whole Black nationalist push, the idea behind many of these Marxist agenda is to divide us. And we talk about this on the show, back in 1943, communists put out a list of the 45 communist goals of America or for America. And one of them, is to race bait, is to, continually divide us by emotionalizing our past and keeping that as part of our future and saying it is in the future. And it's what to really put down the systems and our Constitution, any type of national pride that we may have or people may have in the future, that goes against the Marxist agenda of intersectionality, of Black nationalism, all of that. Faith-based, Karl Marx was a Satanist, and he hated faith, any religion, anything like that, because communism and Marxism believe their religion is God. I'm sorry, their religion is God.
It's government, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So
and again, like we say, you can look up these 45 goals yourself. I also encourage you all to go onto YouTube and look at the Yuri Bezmenov interview. I think that was done in 1980 something, early 80s. Look at that interview. He was a Soviet defector. You might say, well, he's just saying that he's lying, but what he's saying has actually come to fruition.
Oh yeah. Folks, this is not just a communist plan. It's not just a Marxist plan. It's not just a one world order plan. This is prophetic to those who follow the Bible. If you are a faith-based person, this goes beyond what we see in politics and things like this. It's evil. It's evil. And we gotta call it out. We gotta call it out for what it is. It's evil. Many of these things, when you really get behind and you go up and see who's behind all of it, it's Satanists. They're Satanists. And we are warring against the Satan. I mean, this is
principalities in high places.
Exactly. So we must continue to stay vigilant. We must continue to speak to our children and make them aware of what's going on, because this isn't going away. Even if Trump gets into office, I pray he does. It's just going to be for a short time. We may win the battle, but the war is still going on.
That's right.
This is not over, and we have to stay vigilant. Get our kids back to reading. Get them out of these government schools, these indoctrination centers. Get them out. Make America healthy again. That goes into it as well, with the food and the things they want us eating, ingesting in our eyes, looking at, you had we weren't going to talk about this, but I'm not going to get too deeply into it, but some rabbi, have you guys been following? Some rabbi came out and said, and bought Pornhub and he believes that, you know, this pornography is a good thing. I mean, you know, this is all a sign of the times. It really is.
Yeah.
All right. So that does it for us. So wow,
we got
what a note.
Captain Caveman there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Says, may God bless you, beautiful women. Thank you. And you too, Captain Caveman. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much.
We gotta, you know, make sure we tell our viewers, KJ, don't forget, you can buy your tickets. We have our Informed Voters Power Series this Friday, or next Friday, this Friday the 18th coming up. Get your tickets. If you can't make it, maybe you can buy a ticket for someone who is already here in Baltimore if you're not here. But we're going to have a very, very good time, a fun time, informative time. We have some great speakers that are going to be there. Tickets are only $10, so come on out and support us. You'll get to meet us as well.
Right. Yes, we do have, and those are our speakers, Maj Touré, there 2A gun advocate, freedom advocate. Also, Chad O. Jackson. He was one of the producers on Larry Elder's Uncle Tom 1 and 2.
Right.
Dave Anderson. He is a business coach, very into talking about entrepreneurship, creating your own business, which again is freedom. And Giovanni Patterson, right here in Baltimore, conservative activist here in Baltimore. He's pushing an initiative to lessen government in Baltimore City by lowering the amount of city council manics that we have in Baltimore, and much more. He's suing, he's made national news by suing the
Baltimore City School Board.
Baltimore City School Board, exactly, for fraud, for them not using our tax money inefficiently, of course, and you can see it by the way the students are not learning. So this is going to be an awesome night. We will be
to that page.
Yes. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. You can go to our YouTube channel. This flyer, if there's a QR code on there, if you use that, you take a photo of it, it'll link you right to the Eventbrite where you can get your tickets. You can also, there's a link for Eventbrite, or you can go right to Eventbrite, put in the search, Informed Voter Power Series, and that should take you right to the link as well. All right, guys. So we were up late night tonight. Looks like we got a lot of night owls. So maybe
I know, right?
So definitely thank you guys for chatting with us tonight. We'll be back on Monday night. We will be back at 9 p.m. Thank you so much. Until next time, count your blessings and live a life of purpose.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.